Okay, everybody. Okay. So the season is officially over, right? MLB season officially over. And the Yankees have won 94 games, which is the same amount of games that they won last year. But they did it this year without Garrett Cole. They did it this year without Juan Soto. They did it this year without Jake Cousins, without a half year of Clark Schmidt, without a half year of Luis Hill, without almost a half year of Giancarlo Stanton. About 2 months missing of Fernando Cruz and 2 months missing of Ryan Yarbrough. So to me, I think probably Aaron Boone did a decent job managing this team this year. And I think Brian Cashman did a decent job of putting the roster together, especially after the deadline, right? And shout out to everybody in the chat. I want to welcome Ken from The Ugly Truth joining me. Thank you for joining me today. We have another guest that might come on. We'll see. We'll wait and see if they come on. But right out the gate, not only have the Mets been officially eliminated, but Pete Alonso has already announced he's opting out of his Mets contract and joining free agency. That came out about 5-10 minutes ago.
Surprise.
Right? So, surprise. Right. And we got the troll here already, Mike Friedman. Mike Friedberg. So, now with that said, we're going to talk about, now that we know, I'll go over the playoff brackets for those that don't know. The playoff brackets are official now. They've been officially set. So in the National League, the Cincinnati Reds are going to play the Los Angeles Dodgers in the wild card. And the winner of that case will play the Phillies in the divisional round. And in the bottom bracket, the San Diego Padres face the Chicago Cubs. And the winner of that is going to face the Milwaukee Brewers in the divisional round. In the American League, the Detroit Tigers, the Guardians. Oh, we got Christian joining us. Christian, what's happening, bud?
How's it going, guys?
How are you? And Christian Kim. We'll see if Ryan will join us too.
Yeah, I think Ryan's about to hop on here too as well.
Right, cool. We were just going over the playoff brackets here.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know if you've heard that Pete Alonso just announced he's opting out of his contract, becoming a free agent. So
wow.
Yep, about 5 minutes ago.
Oh my goodness.
So the timing makes it, to me, tells me that it's going to be that he's serious about not coming back to the Mets instead of waiting throughout the whole entire offseason, especially as a Boris client. So.
Oh, I 100% agree. That is shocking to hear. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And how do you think Juan Soto's feeling? I mean, I know that's kind of subpar right now, but to agree to a 16-year deal and then miss the playoffs in your first season, that is just brutal.
Yeah.
Well, that was my preseason prediction, is that he would be watching the postseason from his hot tub, drinking champagne. So, hence, another one hits the mark.
Yeah, and it's he's watching it from his hot tub, right? I mean, we were told so often that the Yankees were going to be a fourth place team after Soto left, right? So that didn't come true. We were told that the Mets were going to go deep into the postseason. That didn't come true. So a lot of the positions that we were fed have not been. Before Train Express, Alonso announced he's opting out of his Mets contract and becoming a free agent. So a lot of things we were told did not really come true, right? And we were fed a lot, and also announced that the Mets have already said they're not firing their manager. So they're sticking with the manager. So, and again, I can appreciate loyalty to the manager. I just find it puzzling or funny how so many folks have called for Aaron Boone's firing, yet he keeps taking them to the playoffs. So it's an interesting dichotomy. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but But I can also appreciate the Mets being loyal to their manager. Loyalty to me matters, right? And they're going to try to run it back with him next year. And now, if they do it without Juan Soto, without Pete Alonso, we'll see what type of challenge they get there. So, you guys have any thoughts on that part there before I go over the brackets?
Well, honestly, after the Mets signed Soto with the large deal that they gave him, they really didn't add where they had holes at last. They had major holes in the rotation, and they didn't. I mean, they added our former closer to be one of their starters. I mean, he saved their bacon yesterday, but he's pitched well over the red line, and I knew he was burnt. He hadn't pitched well in the second half. They brought back Mania. Mania was hurt for most of the season, and when he came back, they actually eventually ended up relegating him to the bullpen. They brought some young guys up that pitched well for him, but they weren't in the league long enough for the league to make adjustments. We'll see what they have next year. And not a big surprise that Alonso opted out, especially after the disrespect that he was shown by the Mets with that ridiculous contract they gave him this year. Let him hang and dry, just before spring training started?
Yeah. So, and I agree. I mean, I think he's going to cash out and probably go somewhere else.
Well, I mean, they had announced that the Vlad Guerrero Jr. was their number one target. I don't think they actually anticipated that he was going to sign a midseason deal to make him a $530 million baseball player.
Yep.
So as soon as that happened, I knew Alonso was gone. He's going to go out and get his bag of cash.
And he played well enough to get a bag of cash. So, what do you think, Christian? What's your take?
I mean, a lot went wrong. Like, were the Mets really this bad? Did they get a little unlucky? Maybe, but I think you have to look at it, I mean, from the core down, and that is not starting with Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen is not the problem. He is doing everything that they should be doing, spending money, trying to win games. But I don't know. I mean, I always got a little weirded out when, me and Ryan would joke on, I don't know. Is Ryan here?
Yeah, we don't see you, Ryan.
His name tag is here.
Yeah, I put you in the studio, but I don't see you. I just see a black box with your name.
Yeah, Ryan, you might have to change your camera. I don't know. But anyways, me and Ryan would joke around that like the Mets have some of the Yankees' old trash. And I don't know if I would call Carlos Mendoza trash or Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes contributed, but I think making him a starter was just not a great idea. I didn't love Carlos Mendoza as a bench coach. I'll be honest with that. So, is that the root of the Mets' problems and why they didn't have success this year? I don't know about that, but yeah, it's a tough spot for them, and really none of this is on Juan Soto either. He had a great year.
Yeah, he'll probably get some MVP points too. I mean, he was almost a 40-40. He was his usual Soto self.
And that was something that we said he was going to play to the back of his baseball card.
Yeah,
and he had the slow start, and in the end he did. Some of the things that killed the Mets is they brought in acquisitions like Cedric Mullins from the O's, who did absolutely nothing for the Mets. They also brought in a closer in Ryan Helsley, who looked like he forgot how to pitch after he came to Citi Field.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that happens to the Yankees too. Like they'll just get guys at the deadline that don't pan out. Just how it so happened to the Mets. But I do think signing Juan Soto to the size of the contract they did made it more difficult to them to bring in other impact players. Because the same thing was said of the Yankees, right? The Yankees brought back Soto. They probably would have not brought in Max Fried.
Yeah.
Probably would have not brought in Cody Bellinger. So the same thing can have been said about that as well. And they went to the World Series without either one of those guys last year. But that being said, that what other holes that need to be addressed this year, and they did that.
I mean,
right?
Long and short.
Here we go. What's up, Brian?
What's going on? I'm sorry about that. I was trying to join, and it was saying like it wouldn't let me access it like through my browser. It said like it wasn't like allowed. So I tried to like do it on Google Chrome, but that wasn't working. So I had to just settle for my phone. But I'm sorry I'm late. But I'm happy
here
to be
now.
we're just kind of going into the details. Or we're just kind of I don't know if you've heard, but Pete Alonso just opted out of his contract.
Yeah, I did see that. I mean, the whole Mets are just. I don't know how you digest that one. I really don't. I mean, that's to have the best record, first 2.5 months of the season, and to just collapse in that fashion. I think Gary Cohen summed it up best right when the Mets when the Mets had their season ended. He was like, their brutal slow motion 3-month collapse has come to a close, and that's literally what it was. If you're a Mets fan, I don't know how you look forward. I mean, you got Steve Cohen, you have all this money, you have this very high payroll, but that didn't even get you into an expanded playoff format. So I don't know how much hope you have, but it's definitely a dark day if you're a New York Mets fan for sure.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you don't mind, let's turn our notifications on silent. That way we don't get those noise, and we're trying to minimize the background noise. Want to make sure there's no echoes in the noise. Thank you. But I agree. This is a tough one. It really is. It's a tough one for the Mets. I feel for the Mets fans, but we got trolled mercilessly all year by Mets fans, right? So, it is what it is. That comes with the territory. And
from about 10 seconds after the Soto signing, it was on like Donkey Kong.
You'd think they won the World Series after that.
Yeah. That was like the greatest thing that ever happened, and we just got pounded by Mets fans. I'm like, guys, you got to wait and see what they do beyond that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and unfortunately, he did his job on Soto, but unfortunately, beyond him, it wasn't enough to get them to the postseason, right?
Yeah.
So, but now we got to focus on the Yankees now, right? We get the Red Sox, and I'll go over the playoff brackets really quickly. Starting with that, and naturally, again, it's Reds versus Dodgers. The winner is going to face the Phillies. Then it's going to be Padres versus the Cubs. The winner of that faces the Brewers in the divisional round. American League going to be Detroit Tigers versus Cleveland Guardians. The winner faces the Mariners, and then us and the Red Sox. The winner faces the Blue Jays. Those are the brackets, or official brackets right now. We're going to have a tough series. We're probably going to get Crochet and Giolito and Bello, right? The same guys that gave us fits the last time, but we beat the last time at home. So, and we do have home field advantage here. So, how are you guys feeling going into this series against the Red Sox?
I'm excited. That's like my first emotion, obviously. And, as cliche as it is, like game one is huge. I said this because me and Ryan did a quick series preview. If the Yankees can get to Crochet early, jump on him, that is just a tone setter for the entire very short series. And momentum is a very, very real thing. So you take down their ace, that just sends a message. It's gonna deflate them a little bit. But you could say the same thing about Max Fried if the Sox were to get to him. So need Max Fried to show up, but I feel like he has shown us and proved himself this year where we can feel pretty confident about going head-to-head against Crochet. And then I think the Yankees do have the edge in game two with Rodon against, who was it, Giolito? Yeah. So they match up pretty evenly. I think that's the bottom line.
Well, I mean, you go. Okay. Well, I was just going to say, like, I'd agree with Christian. I think that both teams match up very evenly. One thing that concerns me, the Giolito-Rodon matchup, is that Rodon is a 5.74 ERA versus the Red Sox this season. That concerns me a little bit. But I think when you look at both teams on paper, they're matched up against each other really evenly. I mean, if you look at these, pitching matchups, it's band for band. I mean, these guys are very evenly matched. I think it's going to be very huge that the Yankees are at home. And when me and Christian talked about this potential matchup, a couple months ago or a month or so ago, Yankees Red Sox wild card, I said, whoever has home field advantage, I think whoever has home field advantage is going to win the series. So I like what the Yankees have. I like that they have home field advantage, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens for sure. I do like the Yankees' chances, but I wouldn't let the Yankees record fool you at 94 and 68. The Red Sox 89 wins actually beat the Yankees more times this season. I think they went 8-5 against the Yankees. So these two teams are matched up very evenly. I could see either one of them taking it.
And to your point, too, I wanted to add something. I wanted to answer Benji's question because he's asking Cam Game 3 or Hill. So what the reporting as of yesterday was that Hill is not going to be on the wild card roster right now because he pitched today. I don't know if you've heard that. And Brent Hedrick is already here with a locker. So it looks like they're going to replace Hill. And it's not made official, but that was reporting yesterday. It looks like they're going to replace Hill with Brent Hedrick to give them a fresh arm that they could deploy out of the bullpen. So it looks like right now it's going to be Fried, Rodon, and Cam Schlittler. And if that is, and they got Will Warren probably coming in the bullpen. That's one of the reasons I wanted to have you guys on because I wanted to see what your take was on the 26th. So we have to pare it down by 2. And the plan of attack versus the Red Sox is going to be different than it is against the Mariners, than against the Guardians, right? Against the other teams, because the Red Sox have what? A balance between lefty and righties in the rotation. The Mariners do not, all righties. Blue Jays do not, all righties. So it's a different plan of attack. So how we construct the roster, particularly around the margins, I think is what's going to be most interesting. That's why I'd love to get your takes on it. Ken, you want to add anything to that in terms of what you're thinking about against the Red Sox?
Well, there's not a team that I truly fear in the postseason. We faced in that 12-game run some serious competition. We took 3 out of 4 series, and I think basically we developed a template on how to beat each team. And with the exception of the Tigers, and the bullpen really gave up the ghost on the first 2 games there, I think we would have caught them too. When I looked earlier, I believe the Red Sox actually have a negative split against left-handed pitching. And up front, everybody is on the Cam Schlittler number 3 slot. I'm against that. I don't think that he should go in that slot. I think the pitcher that we should bring out is another lefty in Ryan Yarbrough. Let him go 4 or 5 innings, whatever he has. He's throwing it 80 miles an hour. And then you bring in a pitcher like Schlittler to follow on the back end. Tell me how those bats are going to catch up to Schlittler.
And this is something we talked about, right? When last time when they went from Schlittler to Yarborough, they went from 100 miles an hour to 88 miles an hour, and the bats were on him. If we go from Yarborough first to Schlittler out of the bullpen, you're going from 88 to – we don't have any guys that throw 100 to 102 darts in the bullpen.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Not in the bullpen. So that's a different plan of attack, and this is where Ken and I were talking about this. And I'd love to get you guys' take on this soon. Consigliere, thank you. Appreciate that. Mr. Boys, great season. Come back to it. Yeah, man. Best record in the league is right, man. Thank you, Consigliere. And by the way, before we go any further, anybody in here, if you're not subscribed to Bronx Talks or Ken, Yankees Know the Truth, please make sure you support these guys.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys give them the love and the support, okay? And it really means the world if you guys could support them. So, again, let's get into it. What are you thinking? How are you feeling about the 26-man roster here? Like, let's just. I mean, if you don't mind, let's go through it player by player. All right.
Right now, we're sitting at 22, and we've got to trim the fat right off the bat. So we're going to lose 2 players. 2 players that I think are coming off the roster. First one is going to be an arm. I think Will Warren is cooked for the wild card round. Yeah, he's got real bad splits against the Red Sox. He's got over a 9 ERA, and they beat the ever-living tar out of him. So I just can't see him pitching at all against the Red Sox. The other player that I think is going to end up coming off the roster is Austin Slater.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't have much of a role right now.
Yeah.
Right. So I think they're probably, if they have to decide between him and Jason Dominguez, they're probably going to go with the speed there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only question with that is, will the Yankees – I mean, we've seen them run the full platoon lineup. Do I think Slater would start in a playoff game? Not really. But I don't know if they value that off the bench.
Yeah.
Even potentially maybe more than Jason Dominguez, just because he has that split, and the Yankees don't really need another lefty bat. And I also think you trust Slater in the outfield a little bit more too. than
Yeah.
Dominguez.
Generally, when you bring in somebody late in the game, it's for a defensive replacement, right?
Yeah.
You're going to bring a defensive replacement. If you have to choose between Dominguez and Slater, then you're going to go with Slater. Right?
But you actually have more to choose from because Rosario is also an outfielder,
too.
and Caballero can play corner outfield too.
Bucko,
You've got a matchup where you've got multiple players that can play the same position. Slater is probably the best defensive selection out there, but what he brings with the bat, you haven't seen much. I mean, he had a hit against the Red Sox in that first game that he showed up, pulled his hamstring, and then we didn't see him for a long time.
Exactly. And this is where I think it's going to be hard to go from 28 to 26, right? And like, do you choose Rosario over Slater? And then at that point, how do you pare it down? I think it's going to be one bat and one arm.
I don't think you can do that though, because I think there is worlds where Ahmed Rosario is starting a game.
Could be.
Like I don't think you can have Ryan McMahon hitting or taking 3 at-bats off Garrett Crochet. It's going to be 3 strikeouts, and I think every Yankee fan could tell you that right now. So, whether you start Caballero or Rosario over McMahon, that doesn't necessarily matter, but then you kind of need another one of those infield guys on the bench, and I don't know who that would be. So it is a tough question that, I don't know if there's a clear-cut answer.
I think the bottom line is, though, if you look at this Yankees team from years prior, they do have options on the bench. They have a lot of options on the bench, something we necessarily haven't seen in the past few years in the playoffs. And the Yankees went out, made a bunch of trades to bolster that depth, bolster that bench. So it'll be interesting to see what they roll out there for sure. I think Caballero and Rosario, that's going to be a big debate because it seems like every time Caballero's in there, he's getting a big hit. Like we saw him get that walk-off this past week. So, but Rosario, he's killed lefties all year. So, it's going to be interesting to see who they're going to roll out there. And I think Caballero gives you a plus defensively over there at third base over Rosario. But I don't know.
And you're going to need Caballero's speed in there. You're going to need Rosario's ability to lefties, and then they both bring a level of energy that we haven't seen in a while.
Well,
speed.
I called
a
lot of play-by-plays, and I called a lot of play-by-plays with the Red Sox also. And the other teams that were getting to Crochet, what I noticed is they would get runners on, put him in the stretch, and then distract him with stealing or making attempts to steal, and his timing was off. He was throwing the ball up and away, which led to walks that he wasn't doing against the Yankees. So we have the elements of that speed on this team to possibly do the same thing. And in God's honest truth, I don't see McMahon starting against Crochet. I think Rosario will be there with the bat to begin with. And I don't see Jazz starting either. I think Caballero will be taking the spot over there.
Yeah, you can bring those guys in later on in the game.
Exactly. Defensive replacements in the latter part of the inning after Crochet has been cooked.
Yeah, I mean, what's you guys' take on that? Does that make sense? Can you see that happen?
Yeah, and actually, they would do Caballero at third, if I had to guess too. I assume, right?
Yeah.
And we've heard Boone say before he does not think there's, he mentioned this multiple times on the Talking Yanks interviews, that he does not think there's a big difference between McMahon's defense and Caballero's at third base. So
Caballero's solid. He makes plays.
He's really solid.
Yeah, he's good.
He's been picking them everywhere. Short, second. So I mean, would I like McMahon in there? Sure, because he's locked down on third base, which I like. So, but at the same time, what are we going to rely on against Crochet? We're going to rely on guys that can hit lefties. We can't steal bases if we can't get on base against this guy. So we got to get on base first, right? So we definitely need guys that can hit lefties incredibly. Well,
so then, is there a world where Jason Dominguez is in a playoff game? I'm just thinking construction.
I'm thinking probably against righty pitchers, not against lefty pitchers. But This is, and I've been talking.
But I don't know where, because then you'd have to pinch hit him for one of the outfielders too.
Well, and who do you sit to begin there?
Yeah, no one.
You can't sit Grisham Bellinger.
You can't.
I mean, I could see him getting in there definitely as a pinch runner for sure.
Yes, that's his one lane. But you have Caballero for that.
And he is a very talented base runner. He literally runs like a bull out there. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't know how else you could fit him in there because Grisham and Bellinger have been two of the best hitters on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't start him over one of them. Maybe you could.
What I see in a Dominguez scenario is Stanton will get a hit, and they will pinch run Dominguez, and Dominguez will fall into the DH spot at that point.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
That's probably the most ideal scenario. And again, and I talked to Ken about this. Like Crochet is, what is he, 40, 50 innings above his max?
He's 50 innings over the max he's ever pitched as a professional baseball player.
In a season.
He is past red line for sure.
We got to make him work really hard in game one. We really do.
Yeah. He did go 8 shutout, though.
He did.
The other day.
Yes, he did. Can't put anything by him. Can't put anything by him. We really can't. But we got to drive him crazy. Man, thank you again. Appreciate your generosity as always. Buckeye, thank you too. And again, we got, like Ken said too, we gotta have to run the bases with reckless abandon. Anytime we get a chance to get on base, we have to move these guys over. We do.
Yeah.
And even if you bunt down the third base line, we're gonna need guys that can actually bunt down the third base line and run their asses off to first base. We've got to do something to create havoc on the base pass, because who do they have in the infield? Bregman at third, who's an elite gold glove infielder. So, and then,
but the one thing that you have to look at is the Red Sox are the worst defensive baseball team in all of baseball. They have more errors than any team whatsoever.
They do.
The question I have about the Red Sox: are they going to have Roman Anthony back for the wild card series, or is he still on the shelf?
I don't think so.
Is he hamstring? Hamstring for him?
I could look it up right now.
Is that a hamstring?
Anthony was like the catalyst that they had, and
Boston Red Sox Roman Anthony heading to Fort Myers. No timetable on return. That's an hour ago.
Okay. Oblique strain. Okay. Oblique strains take a while to recover from too.
I think he might be shut down.
Yeah. Who they replaced him with? Rafaela?
No.
Whatever his name is?
The Toro. Toro is the guy who came up.
No. And we could be getting lucky that he's out from Anthony, because he hit us pretty hard. So dynamic a really good young player there.
Yeah, I feel like he just electrified that Boston team. They're a much scarier team with Roman Anthony. Yeah. Not discrediting them right now, but he brought that little bit of youth, brought the rivalry a little bit, dialed it up.
Yeah,
I'm glad we're not seeing him this
Same here, man.
Kid's a great ball player. I mean, there's a reason that they extended him for freaking 10 years after being up in the majors for a month.
Yeah, he was number one prospect in all baseball. Number one. So
well, that doesn't necessarily say anything, because look at Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
He's down here in Norfolk, and he was hitting over 600 in AAA. Was the number one prospect and got sent down twice because he couldn't hit major league pitching.
Yeah.
But this Anthony kid is definitely not that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely one that's fulfilled top billing pretty quickly, coming up to the majors. So, and that's a credit to him. Now, how would you guys? I'll go through them. We'll go one by one. How would you scale this down from 28 to 26? What two would be off for you? So, I'll start you with Ken. Start off with you. What two would be?
I said Warren and Slater are my two.
Warren and Slater.
Yep.
How about you, Kristen?
I was originally on Warren and Dominguez, but yeah, I'm gonna change it to Slater too, because I think Dominguez in the games where Caballero starts, I think you need a pinch runner simply for Stanton, or really anyone. I mean, you're down a run or tied, you need that run. So I think Dominguez helps more
Yeah, I would have to agree with both of you guys. I would say it's Warren and Slater. Warren's not going to get any of the action. You already have Ryan Yarbrough as your long relief guy, so that's not going to happen there. You don't really have any use for Warren, okay? Because if we have a game 3, Cam Schlittler is going to be getting the ball, and in a desperate situation, maybe Luis Heel could be off the roster too, but I mean, I'm not really sure. I guess you want to have the pitcher. So, yeah, probably Slater could be gone because then at that point, you still have enough outfielders and you want Dominguez as a pitch runner. That could be interesting, though, when you come into like a defensive replacement situation. Like, do you ultimately want Dominguez out there in a big spot, make an error? Like, I don't know, but I don't know. It could be those guys. Maybe even Luis Heel, too, because
Yeah, how many
just pitched.
pitches did he throw today?
Well, 5 innings. Let me pull this up. 5. I mean, he worked a little bit today too, Luis Hill. 79 pitches through 5 innings.
I think
He's off. He is not on that roster. They would.
I think you could end up keeping Slater on there, and it could just be Heel and Warren, because I mean, at the end of the day, it is 3 games. So like, I don't know. I don't know.
And Ken made a point the other day too. When is this throw day again, Ken? Tuesday, Bill?
Wednesday. Wednesday is his would be Hill's normal throw day, and that's 50 pitches. So he could come out of the bullpen on Wednesday. The question is, do you trust him to come out of the bullpen? Because he has got almost a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and he walks a boatload of players.
Yeah, that's the last thing when you come with somebody coming out of the pen.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see him on.
Yeah, I'm going with
honestly. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say
who are your two?
I'm going with the Hill being replaced by Brent Hedrick because we're already hearing that, but that still keeps him at 28. I'm also on the Warren and Austin Slater train too right now. I think it just makes the most sense. I think Med Rosario coming off the bench has been more effective than Slater when he's at plate batting. He's just been more productive offensively right now.
And Hedrick adds another lefty to the bullpen too, which is something they need.
A fresh arm. It's also a fresh arm. So I'm thinking the same thing of Warren and Slater. Let us know in the chat what you folks think. Is it Warren Slater? Is it someone else? And I also like. I mean, would I be surprised if they started Game 3 with with Yarbrough and came out of the pen with Cam Schlittler? That would kind of probably throw the Red Sox off because Yarbrough has been pretty good as a starter for the Yankees. He's been better as a starter than he's been out of the pen. So that's something I could see as well. And I think it would throw Red Sox off. I think it really would. Constantly, thank you so much. Don't forget the Red Sox and Blue Jays beat up on the Yankees when they were slumping, not when they were hot. Well, this is true too. This is a good point. The Red Sox and the Jays beat up on the Yankees when they were slumping, not when they were playing well. This is true too. The Yankees won the series against both these guys.
Yeah,
they were playing well. So, like I said, June and July is not the same thing as September and October.
Yeah, and a lot of the time when they were playing those teams and they were slumping, a lot of their losses came from self-inflicted wounds. I mean, when some of the series they had against the Red Sox and the Blue Jays this year, I mean, it looked like the bad news bears out there. They were just kicking the ball around. There was so many errors. I think against the Blue Jays, the Yankees had at one point like 12 errors in 10 games against them or something like that. Absolutely crazy. So a lot of those problems were self-inflicted. I think that's even like at the back of every Yankee fan's mind here going in the playoffs. Like that is just something we do not want to see. We do not want to see what happened in Game 5 of the World Series last year. We've seen it multiple times this season, right? And I'm sure teams like the Toronto Blue Jays, if the Yankees match up against them, a team like the Blue Jays, look, they put the ball in play. They're going to force pressure on you. They're not built like the Yankees, and they're not going to outslug you bombs away home run. No, they are going to play small ball, put runners on base, and apply pressure. And that was the Dodgers' game plan. They admitted it. Make the Yankees beat themselves. I wonder if the Red Sox, if they play the Blue Jays, going to have that same approach. I would think they are going to definitely have the same approach if they go up against them. I mean, they know that's something the Yankees don't ultimately do well. So I would think teams like Red Sox, Blue Jays, whoever the Yankees face, their opponent is going to give them a tough battle for sure.
Yeah, if I can add to that point too, they got beat up before the trade deadline by these teams. And what did they do? They added some stout defenders after the trade deadline, right? They stabilized the infield. Most of the self-inflicted wounds were in the infield, right? They added Caballero. They added Ryan McMahon. Since then, the defense has been 1,000 times better in the infield than it was before the deadline. So Kunzel, it's a great point. I wasn't even thinking about that, and you guys are adding some great value to it too. So, and again, this is kudos to Cashman for bringing these guys in. I did not expect the Caballero trade to happen.
Yeah,
no.
What a trade!
I honestly think that they made that move because they thought that Volpe was more hurt than he actually is.
Could have been.
Yeah, definitely.
Mid game. Like,
yep.
Which is
crazy. I mean, because honestly, Jason, he wasn't on anybody's radar.
No.
That guy came out of the blind. He was the last minute trade.
He was
He was across the dugout. Yeah.
That was crazy. I was absolutely, but I'm so happy that he did it.
Isn't it almost a little crazy that we were ready to go the rest of the season without a backup shortstop?
Yeah, well, I was. I mean, what were we going to do? And we could not rely on.
There should be another option. I mean, it's basic common sense.
I mean, the only backup shortstop, if you didn't get Caballero, would have been Ahmed Rosario. And he doesn't necessarily play a good defensive shortstop. So
yeah,
that would have been risky. I mean, guys like Volpe, even going into this series, you just kind of like hold your breath. You know, I think a lot of Yankee fans are looking at it like, just don't kill us, you know. Like, don't make a bonehead error. Like, just get by. I don't think anyone's really looking for Volpe to, you know, break out this postseason. But if you look at last season, he was one of the Yankees' best postseason hitters. I think he hit over 270 at an 830 OPS. So, you know, who's to say maybe he can't go out there and have a really good postseason? And I think the Yankees were giving him so much run at the end of the season. Because if you look back and saw what he did, I think from like the end of July through the first couple weeks of August, I mean, he was like Aaron Judge out there, home run every single day. I think the Yankees were giving him that run, you know, even with his struggles while the playoffs were approaching, because they wanted to see if he could get hot, wanted to see if he could go in another one of those runs, and then that the Yankees could have another plus bat in their lineup for October. But they obviously believe in the guy, and, you know, they're going to ride and die with him. So he's going to be an interesting storyline for sure. Going into the postseason, and I just hope that he doesn't make a bonehead play or big error, because it's not going to be a fun day in New York if that happens.
I couldn't agree more, Christian.
Go ahead, Ken.
Any thoughts on that?
I think that if we didn't pick Caballero up, Jazz Chisholm is an athletic ball player. He actually started his career out with the Diamondbacks as a shortstop. That he could have been the pivot to short. Rosario to second.
Yeah, I mean, then we would be doing the, what was it, 2021 Gleyber Torres experiment, or was that 2020?
Yeah,
2021. Yeah,
and who?
Both actually.
So I don't know. I mean, I bet he has a good arm. He's athletic. I'm sure he could play a great shortstop, but getting Caballero was 100% just what they should have done and what they did. What they did do. So good job, Yankees.
No complaints about that trade whatsoever.
No.
And the guy seems like he has a swagger to him too. It seems like he's, you know, one of those guys that's kind of made to wear the pinstripes. And, you know, he's pretty fun when he comes up to the plate. You know, I think it's almost a disco show every time he steps in the box, because he's got a neon pink, a neon green arm sleeve and batting gloves. You know, we've seen some more swagger on the Yankees, especially with Jazz Chisholm Jr. coming to the team. But I think Caballero just takes it up a notch. I mean, if you would have told me, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago that we would see a Yankee with that much, you know, swagger on his gear, I would have called you crazy. I mean, it is it is pretty cool to see a Yankee wear, something that loud. But, it looks like he loves being a Yankee. And I think when he got traded here, he said that he grew up a big Yankee fan and a big Derek Jeter fan. So, I think he could be another, dark horse candidate to get a really big hit in October. He just seems like one of those glue guys. So I don't know. I definitely could see him coming through in October for sure.
Got that black ice that he puts on.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. He's got it going for sure.
Yeah.
Caballero coming over infused our running game because Jazz hadn't stolen in a while. Mingus, nobody had really been stealing bases.
Yeah.
Now these guys run amok. Although sometimes I think they're a little bit freaking Looney Tunes when they're running. You got a left-handed batter up and you're trying to steal third. No point in it. You get gunned at third or you slide past the bag because you are that fast. And with a simple hit, you're going to score from second anyhow. So I don't see why they make that attempt.
Yeah, well, he got picked up second today, so and I would clean that. I mean, he's much better stealing second than he is stealing third, at least right now, from what I can say.
Yeah, but as John Sterling said, on the radio last year, they run the bases like drunks. It's just it's kind of part of their game.
They do.
Also, the Red Sox, I don't remember how it went down the recent series, but the last time that the Yankees were in Fenway, the Red Sox completely shut them down with stealing third base. And we've seen how much the Yankees love to do it this season. You got to be really careful. I remember they got Volpe on it, I think, in extras. They got Rice on it. I think that was also where Dominguez got caught sleeping or didn't know the outs. So Yankees got to be a little sharper on the base paths. Although Carlos Narvaez,
got a
I
gun.
believe he does have a gun.
Cannon. He's got a cannon for an arm.
Okay, so I mean, you
The
take
other
your
catcher
chances,
they
but
have, their catcher from last year does not have a gun.
Who's that? Who's that from? Is he still here?
Wong.
Connor Wong.
Connor Wong. Okay.
Hasn't he been awful offensively too?
Yep.
Or-
He's hitting well under the Mendoza line, and that's how Narvaez has been able to sneak into their starting lineup.
Yeah, Narvaez has a really good pop time. I was thinking of the other catcher that we gave to the Marlins, who was struggling defensively.
Augustine Ramirez.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh no, I was just gonna say he's gonna be a stud offensively for sure. I mean, I don't know if the defense will, ever be able to catch up with the bat, but he seems really legit offensively. I think he's 22, 23 years old. So he looks like a stud, and I'm sure he's happy to, knock the Mets out of the postseason. So
yeah, yeah, it's we've given them some pretty good prospects. We give the Pirates a good prospect for David Bednar, a good catcher.
Yeah, he made his debut.
Yeah, the Mets got a good one too.
Torrens. Yeah,
Torrens.
We fielded 8 catchers throughout the major leagues out of the Yankee farm system.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was serious catching.
We build catchers like the Pirates built starters.
Yeah. Yeah. When we trade our catchers, the Pirates don't trade their freaking starters.
Yeah.
No.
Pirates can't do anything right.
No, they can't. They gotta get rid of Skeens, man.
Besides keeping Paul Skeens.
Oh man.
Did you ever? I saw this video resurface the other day. But have any of you seen the video with the Pirates owner? What's his name? Ben Cherington, I believe that's his name. The Pirates owner. Yeah. Have you ever seen that fan that goes up to Ben Cherington and asks for a photo, and he's wearing a T-shirt that says "Sell the team"? And Ben Cherington looks at his shirt and then looks up at the camera, then looks back down at his shirt, gives it like a weird look as the fan's just like smiling with his thumb. I was like, oh my gosh, like that is can't make it up.
Epic troll job right there.
See, Jason, that's our fair weather fan merch that I'm talking about.
Yeah, we got to go see it. We're talking about against the fair weather fan merch just to troll the trolls. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them, and it was. I mean, I brought this up earlier. Like the Mets have no plans to fire their manager, right? And I appreciate loyalty to the manager. How often have the Yankee fans said to fire Boone? I hear it at least every
since the World Series.
Yeah. So, and they've won. They've matched last year's wins without Cole, without Soto, without a bunch of guys. So he's done a half a decent job as manager here.
I mean, honestly, if you look at the 2024 Yankees versus what we have going in the postseason this year, this team is far superior than what we had last year.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we actually have a bench that can do something because we didn't have one last year.
We were top heavy last year with like Judge, Soto, and then when Stanton when he was healthy, but then we had a drop off after that. Now we've got balance. We've got 8 guys with 20 home runs plus. We've got 7 or 8 guys with an OPS over 800. That's much more balanced in the lineup that we didn't have last year, right? And you know we probably have. I think Ben Rice is probably going to replace Paul Goldschmidt after this year. If I had to predict anything, probably going to be the path. But beyond that, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, is Spencer Jones going to get an opportunity? I don't know. Or
I don't know. I think we've got to give PJ Rumsfeld a shot.
I've heard a lot about him.
He has been doing.
He's crushed it.
He's major league ready. Last year he was major league ready. When Rice came up in his spot, I was a little upset because Rice was learning to be a first baseman. This guy has done nothing but play first base his entire career and outfield.
Yeah. Well, I think he's probably the reason we don't get Murakami.
But Rumsfeld, if we don't protect him, he's gone in the Rule 5 draft this year.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like I want to do another video on who do we have to who's vulnerable on the 40-man, because we've got to protect Spencer Jones, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz.
Elmer Rodriguez for the guy who is our number one
pitcher
down there in the farm system. He's
Carlos
eligible for Rule 5.
Yep. Carlos LaGrange, we've got to protect him. Case Hampton, at least those 4 guys. And we were talking about this earlier, and there are guys that they could move off the 40-man to make room for these guys to protect them from Rule 5. But beyond that, we get poached more than any other team in Rule 5.
Garrett Whitlock, right?
Whitlock, yeah. We get poached all the time. So, and that's, to me, that's a testament that the strength of the farm is a little bit better than people think. That's why I don't rely on the 28th ranking or the rating and all this stuff. It's like I don't rely on like Devin Williams. His ERA is just under 5, but if you look at the stats, the batters only bat 190 against them.
Yeah, I mean, baseball is just bizarre. I was looking at the playoff picture last week, and just look at some of these teams that are in the playoffs. You know, looking at their run differentials, and like you look at the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Like the Yankees should be a lot better than the Toronto Blue Jays, like statistically. It's such a weird, funky sport. You know, sometimes, you know, the advanced stats will support a player who's just been dreadful. And, you know, it's confusing. It's head scratching for sure. But speaking of Garrett Whitlock, who the Red Sox got in the Rule 5 draft from the Yankees, a third of the Red Sox roster is former Yankees. They got Whitlock, Greg Weissert, Aroldis Chapman, Carlos Narvaez, Rob Refsnyder. I think there's, like it's crazy.
Yeah, I call play-by-plays, and every time I do the Red Sox, former Yankee Greg Weissert is coming up. Former farmhand, it just annoys the crap out of me. And they kick us in the ding-ding. Our own guys.
Yeah, I know.
That we moved off, and that just drives me bat crap.
And it's all guys who like never really helped the Yankees that much too. That's what hurts even more.
Look at Aroldis Chapman. Like he learned how to pitch again after he left New York.
Yeah, I know. Because he wasn't aiming according to
Yeah, he's like unstoppable now. What was he? Was he
right? I did make the prediction that we were going to score a run off of him, and we did during the last series.
That was a sick at bat by Cody.
Yeah, but yeah, we've got to definitely jump ahead of that to try to keep him out of this game. Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
Keep them out.
Yeah.
You can't
No
even-
doubt. Their bullpen's really good. I was looking at. I think they got like the lowest bullpen ERA in the American League. Their bullpen is really good. They're fifth in all of baseball in ERA. They have the fifth lowest ERA at 3.70. They pitch. They pitch really well. That's their strong suit. They're gonna want to go to that bullpen early. So years prior, you'd always think like beat up in the starting pitcher, get to that bullpen. That's not exactly the formula, I think, for this series. I think if you're the Yankees, you want to jump on Crochet early. You want to jump on Giolito early. Like, you want to get runs early off these guys because, once you get to that sixth inning, the Red Sox have all those weapons to deploy. They got Whitlock, Weiser, and Aroldis Chapman just looks absolutely unhittable. And I cannot see Aroldis Chapman get a save in the Bronx going up against the Yankees. That would just be too infuriating to watch as a fan. And another thing too that I mentioned earlier on me and Christian's show, the Yankees got to win this series for pride and bragging rights too. The Boston Red Sox have won the last 3 playoff series against the New York Yankees: 2004, 2018 in the ALDS, and then 2021 in the wild card game. You're the New York Yankees. You cannot lose 4 straight playoff series to the Boston Red Sox. That can't happen. That does not fly. So, Yankees got some added pressure to get the job done with that on top of it.
That's a good point too. I didn't even think about that. That's a good
Well,
point.
I mean, God's honest truth, this isn't the Yankee team that the Red Sox faced for a good portion of the year.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah. This is a different Yankee machine right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to look at the bullpen too. That it was just brutal at one point. We didn't have a guy to go to, so it was either you win big or just blow it late. And I'm not saying that that's all gone and in the past, but they've definitely figured a little bit of it out. And I think you can be feeling a lot more confident about certain guys than you were 2 months ago. I think we're at a point now where we're a little bit more comfortable with Devin Williams. Bednar is the man. And even Weaver, I feel kind of settled in a little bit recently because he was going through a really up and down, but kind of under the covers.
And they're getting more length from their starters, which is easing the load on the bullpen now.
Yeah.
And now Yarborough's back. And they also added Paul Blackburn, who's actually pitching pretty well for them. So they've got long relief from the right and left side, which we didn't have before. So,
what do you think the adjustments are for the 26-man roster?
Well, I think each round's going to be different.
Well, I'm talking this first one against the Red Sox.
The adjustments, they're going to have to be, my personal opinion, they're going to have to be more aggressive on the base paths. They're going to have to jump on guys early. They're going to have to put if I had to guess, I'd probably be leading off Trent Grisham instead of Paul Goldschmidt. I want to have more Grisham at bats than more Goldschmidt at bats. I would have Caballero and Rosario in there either every day or alternating or something like that. I want them in there. I want Ben Rice at first base more often than Goldschmidt. But if I had to bring in Goldschmidt as a defensive replacement later on, I would do that. But I want to get Rice's bat in there more than Goldschmidt's bat. And we'll put Wells at the dish. If any adjustments, those would be my constants for this series. And I would probably.
Are you swapping players out?
What's that?
Are you swapping players out? We know we're going to pull Slater most likely off the roster. Are you pulling anybody else to bring someone up?
I don't think any of those types of options are going to happen. I think it's just going to be paring down maybe Slater and Warren. I don't think anybody's going to get called up at this point. I know JC Escar is on the taxi squad, so we might see him. And if that's the case, who would you take off?
Me personally, if I'm doing something, I'm pulling people off the pitching side of the house.
Yeah,
yeah, because it's only a 3-game series too.
Right.
You just got to get through it.
Yeah, if I had to pull up Mark Leiter Jr. to bring in JC Escar, I'd be okay with something like that.
Well, you have to swap pitcher for pitcher.
I don't know if you have to do that. You have to do that in regular
Yes, you do.
season.
I
Do you?
looked that up. In the
Okay.
playoffs, it's positional player for positional. For me, what I'm looking at doing, Hedrick is going to come onto the roster for sure. Probably in the heel spot. I'm leaving Leiter off, and I'm bringing Yuri Del Santos back.
You got another hard throwing arm.
Hard throwing guy that can do long relief, because long relief is going to be key in the postseason.
Yeah, I would agree.
And we sent him down twice for no reason, just because he had options.
And he throws multiple innings, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
That's a fair. I could see something like that too. That's a good point. Can you guys see that at all?
It's a flip for me between Doval and Leiter. I like Doval's velocity. Doval's walk rate kills me, but when he's on, he's unhittable.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm trying to think of a situation where Camilo Doval is pitching. To be honest, I just think it's such a toss-up between his command and he needs to face 3 batters. So that's a weird one. I mean, Leiter, I guess he could be effective, kind of funky, maybe to get like certain lefties out. I don't know. It's weird. I could see the Yeri move. Hedrick definitely helps. I don't think we're gonna see Yeri back though.
So we'd have,
you,
with that logic, we'd have Bednar, Blackburn, Fernando Cruz, Doval, Hedrick, Tim Hill, Leiter,
Williams.
Weaver, and Devin Williams for the bullpen, and Yarborough for the bullpen. In that case,
I think that's enough. You got to factor in. You got your 2 best pitchers, Fried and Rodine, going into that. So you want to try to get at least 5 out of both of them. Like with a 3-game series, I think you have more than enough pitchers. So I wouldn't mind if they drop the reliever, add another position player. If you put a Scar on the roster, that gives you a lot of flexibility with with the catchers being able to interchange them and stuff like that. That's going to be a really big thing. And I think we'll definitely see that at some point. Like if the Yankees get past the wild card and they get into the divisional or championship series round, I would say almost it could be a guarantee that you see a Scar on their roster, just because that gives you so many different angles and so many different ways you can maneuver it between Rice and Wells. I wouldn't mind it. Like I said, if the Yankees, went for an extra position player. As far as like Doval coming out of the bullpen, maybe like if the Yankees are down and Red Sox got runners like 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, you need like a strikeout. He could be like a pitcher that they go to. But look, I think if Doval and Leiter are either of them, if they're coming into the game, that probably means the Yankees are down, or it's like really late in the game, potentially like extra innings, and this is all they got. It's probably gonna be Weaver, Bednar, Williams. I think those are gonna be the guys. Tim Hill's obviously gonna get in there against left-handers too. So, we'll see what happens. But
could you see Doval coming out in divisional round if the Yankees get there, and Yeri Del Santos being in divisional round? Because the Jays lineup tends to be a little bit more relentless than the Red Sox lineup.
Maybe anything's possible. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I feel like the Yankees have been trying for months now to get Doval right. It's kind of unfortunate that he hasn't blossomed into the player yet that they thought when they were trading for him. Because I was sitting there when they acquired Doval last minute, I was like, this bullpen just became one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. And while the bullpen has improved a lot, it's still, I wouldn't say, up there with the most elite bullpen. I think there are some holes in it. You don't know what you're going to get when Devin Williams goes out there. Bednar has been good. He hasn't been, otherworldly great, fantastic, but he's been very solid. And I feel like Weaver's been a little bit streaky, but he was fantastic in the postseason last year. And overall, he's been really good this year too. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I would, if my gut just tells me that Doval would be on the roster, but who knows?
It's interesting. If you look at the splits for Weaver is more effective against left-handed hitters than he is right-handed hitters. And it's sort of odd that managers have been putting left-handers in for him to chew up, especially in the Orioles series. Every time he came out, they pinch hit left-handers. I was like, okay, this isn't going to work out for you. And once again,
Yeah.
I mean, you could damn near consider Weaver a left-handed specialist.
Yeah, I mean, well, while we're on that subject, so I just looked up something against Lucas Giolito. Ahmed Rosario 7 for 17. Ryan McMahon 0 for 6. So I think we're looking at a possibility where Ryan McMahon just doesn't start a single game this series. And then if you go to Brian Bello, Rosario's also 0 for 3, but McMahon's 0 for 8 against Bello. And then let's see, Caballero 4 for 9. So I don't know if McMahon's going to start a game.
Well, you can ask Jason. The last time we faced the Red Sox, I was going nuts about high hitting players against those pitchers that didn't get into the game at all.
Yeah, and it's stuff like this. I mean, you got to get Caballero. If Caballero's batting better than both these guys, he has to be in there against Bello. Right? Like at this point, we've got to play the best matchups for the Yankees.
I agree.
And what's going to put them in the best position to win a short game? And it's the best of 3, best of 5, like the next round.
Long and short, I'm an old guy, and I can understand metrics. They got a whole freaking department of Ivy League educated people. Why are they not seeing what I'm seeing? I don't understand why they're making decisions they're making. And of course, they don't show up in press conferences to justify anything. So
yeah, I don't know if you guys hear this, but I've been pushing for Mike Fishman in the post-game press conferences with Boone, so he can answer why analytics overrules Boone sometimes. He needs to be there. Boone should not have to answer for him, right? And he gets overruled quite a bit. So he should be there to answer those questions. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I mean, to make it fair to Aaron Boone.
Yeah, 100%.
Again, if the Yankees make it out of this round, would you guys be up for previewing the next round too?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. Oh, Ryan, back in, Ryan?
I'm not sure where Ryan
disappear on us. I like to do this again because this discussion's been. This is the types of discussions I like to have, right? And I appreciate you guys coming on because, and again, the conversation will be different because the next round is against the Blue Jays. It would be
exactly. Yeah,
you'll be facing a different rotation.
And I'll tell you what. Me personally, Schlittler doesn't see the field against the Blue Jays.
Who's that?
Schlittler.
Oh, Schlittler. Yeah, I mean that's it. You could start. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, you can start Yarbrough in that one. And this is where
then you can have an interesting conversation about Luis Gil if you want to, because he pitched lights out against the Sox. So
you could.
There's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, this is where they're going to keep these guys fresh. They're going to keep these guys ready to go. Ryan's trying to enter. You might be having the same problem, Ryan. Can you hear us? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I texted him.
And everybody smack that like button if you haven't done that yet. Again, please make sure you subscribe to Bronx Talks and Yankees Ugly Truth. Please make sure you support these guys. This is where I like to have these guys on, to have these types of discussions.
It's fun having these talks. I love doing the roster crunching before these series.
Put the thinking caps on. It really elevates the discussion. It's good to hear different perspectives. You make positions that I'm not even thinking of, and vice versa. So this is the type of stuff I invite on a regular basis. So I thank you guys for coming on. Who has better pitching, the Yankees or the Dodgers? Bias. Well, the Dodgers are getting healthier. I think the Yankees have a better pen.
Yeah, their Dodgers pen is a joke.
Yeah, I think Yankees have a better advantage pen. The rotation
to get through the back end of this season, they put Sasaki and Kershaw out in the pen because the other bullpen guys, including Tanner Scott, their big money closer, were garbage.
Yeah, and Kershaw was announced that they're leaving him off the wild card roster. He's not going to be on it either.
Yeah, he pitched today.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that said, this is what I mean. So Slater and Warren, I think we're all on the same page with Slater and Warren, right? The two guys to
Yeah.
come down.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense. The one bat and the one arm. And we'll find out. I'm sure we're going to find out tomorrow, guys. When
Yeah,
they
I would assume so.
You know what we're going to find out in true Yankee fashion? About 30 minutes before game time.
we might.
Tuesday.
We might. We might, man. We really could.
We'll find out because Austin Slater is going to be hitting leadoff,
Exactly.
and we'll see it on the lineup card.
What is Slater's stat against Crochet? Does anybody know?
He's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. So
Okay.
So not that great.
I don't know if that's what we're looking for. I don't want to steal Ryan's thunder because we did like a hot take. I don't know what the stream was, but we were just talking on a live.
Go ahead. Did I lose you?
His mic was muted for a sec.
Your mic might be muted, Christian. I think your mic might be muted.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Sorry. Anyways, so I don't want to steal Ryan's take here, but I think we can all agree Trent Grisham is going to have a huge playoff moment. Like he just is made for that. He's been the clutchest hitter probably all year for the Yankees. Time in it.
Yeah. If you look at his 34 home runs, over 20 of them have either tied the game or given the Yankees the lead.
Yeah.
That's the very definition of clutch.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And then, I mean, you know, obviously this is an off-season conversation, but how do you pick between Bellinger or Grisham or Jones? Like, what do you do? But
I'm telling you what, I'm not picking between Bellinger and Grisham. I'm bringing them both back. I don't give a damn about Jones.
I like it.
If you look at our numbers, the offensive numbers for our outfield with Judge, Grisham, and Bellinger, they're number one in baseball. All other outfielders, without doubt. As far as defense, we're top 3. How do you dive off of that? You're going to degrade yourself.
Yeah, and so I have somebody who works for the Yankees. They already kind of confirmed to me that they're going to be shopping Dominguez this offseason. Probably for relief pitching. So that's something I would keep a lookout for. I don't know if a trade's going to actually happen, but I heard they're going to shop him for relief pitching as a way of boosting the bullpen, which clears up a spot for Jones. Or there's 2 other prospects behind Jones. There's Brendan Jones and there's Dylan. I think it's Dylan Lewis. These guys
Lewis is the other one.
Dylan Lewis, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And these guys are up and coming, exciting outfielders. And so the question to me, the $1 million question is what to do with Jones. If I had to predict anything, I predict they're going to give Grisham a qualifying offer. I think he's going to reject it and sign somewhere else. And I think they're going to bring back Cody Bellinger because his track record is just a little bit more stable than Jordan Grisham's. Grisham's having a career year, no doubt. But I think it's his opportunity to cash in. I think he will.
Yeah, but think about it. Even Bellinger struggled immediately, you know, after when was it? Or I guess not immediately after, but you know, the later parts with the Dodgers, and then I think he had one good year with the Cubs, one bad year. So even I wouldn't call him a lock. You know, he has been healthy though. I think for the most part.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. For Bellinger probably made the play that turned our season around
against the Mets.
Against the Mets. That freaking shoestring catch and rifle gun shot to first base for the double play. I mean, we only won 1 game, but it seemed to ignite a spark on a team. And he has had multiple moments of that type of defense. Grisham today, there was a ball hit into no man's land that I thought was going to tie the game up at 3s. How Grisham got to the ball, I have no freaking idea, but he got there, made the play.
Yeah, I mean, would I be surprised if the Yankees brought both back? I would not. If they did bring both of them back, I could see them trading. I could see them trading Jones and Dominguez.
And if you look at it, Grisham is 28 years old.
Yeah.
And he is young.
Bellinger 30?
30, yeah.
30. He's the same age as Kyle Tucker.
Same age as Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, that's going to be a discussion.
You're not paying Bellinger $500 million to get his services.
No, you'll pay him. You'll get half. You get him for half or 40% of what Kyle Tucker's going to cost for similar production.
Exactly.
I mean, would you even consider Kyle Tucker, Christian?
No, because I just don't think we need him.
I agree.
Like I'd stick with you, Ken. I like what you said with signing both. Like these are guys that proved they can play in New York. They had great seasons. I'm not opposed to it, but if you are going to do that, I would say trade Spencer Jones, maybe for pitching this offseason. I don't even know, or even just resetting with prospects, but don't go into the season with Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez because one of them is going to get screwed out of playing time then. Or if they want, I mean, they could go with the Dominguez route, trade him, but in the offseason, you're just not getting that much value. And I don't know if you want to give up on him that early. So if you're going to trade one of them, I would say trade high and go with Jones. And then ride out Dominguez because Dominguez has showed a little bit of promise, I think. Defense isn't what we thought it was going to be. Maybe we thought he was going to have a little bit more power. But I think you can overall feel confident about his future after his rookie season.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking of to me, Jones has the higher upside offensively, and he's an elite defender.
Of course, yeah.
But I think people tend to feel more calm with the Jason Dominguez more balanced portfolio. None of it stands out as glaring superstar. But he doesn't have the peaks and valleys of a Spencer Jones either, right? Spencer Jones, you're looking at, Ellie De La Cruz, but then you're also looking at Ryan Dunn in terms of strikeouts. So
yeah,
how do you balance that out? How do you, as a fan, how do you stay sane with that without pulling your hair out and saying, well, he's going to get 40 home runs, but he's going to strike out 200 times, and our fans okay with that? Would you rather get Dominguez? And he'd be a fourth outfielder most likely, but 20 home runs and 20 doubles and 20 steals and 270 or whatever. Is that good enough? Because I don't think he's going to turn into a superstar. I think that's unfair billing for him. I don't know, create those expectations, and he hasn't performed well enough to justify sitting anybody in the outfield. So
yeah. So where did his AAA stats land at?
His AAA stats. Jones' AAA stats are out of the world. He's got 34 home runs this year. He's got 90 ribbies, an OPS over around 1,000.
So it finished at, this is AAA, not the year on the whole. It was 67 games and 897 OPS. He hit 274 and 19 home runs. Because I remember he had that crazy hot start right around the deadline when everyone was going crazy. But definitely cooled off after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all in all, this year for Jones, he had 34 homers, 90 ribbies, 28 steals.
109 strikeout. Yeah.
So, and he plays stellar defense in the outfield too. So, but again, he's got the size of Judge. He's got the speed of Ellie De La Cruz. So makes him a unique athlete. But at this point, what do you do?
Well, I guess I'm on a different philosophy. I look at people in the farm system as straight prospects. Mm-hmm. What have they done for the Yankees at the major league level? We brought so many people up that Peraza was a fantastic glove guy who just could not hit at the major league level. And we kept him until he had essentially no trade value. And we've done that with a lot of different players. If there's a chance that we can improve our major league team get ourselves set up for another championship, at least a good run at one, I have no compunctions about trading Lombard Jr. or anybody else.
If you can get somebody if you can somehow extract Paul Skeens,
You could kiss Jones, Lombard, Dominguez, all gone, and throw a pitcher on top of it. I got no problems with that.
That's what it's probably going to cost to get somebody like Skeens. What is the chance of that happening? I have no idea.
I think that can be their big offseason goal, though.
Yeah,
have your plan B, but
the heist of the century. So,
but I mean, if you truly look at it, Cashman set us up pretty well for not having a real, true, genuine need area. We got a closer. We got a closer. We got some bullpen arms added. We have people that are IL that are major league caliber bullpen guys like Jake Cousins, who will be back next year.
Yep.
And we have years of control with him. If they can fix Ian Hamilton, got years of control with him. If he could get off the damn slurve and actually start throwing a slider once again, he might become an effective pitcher out of the pen.
Yeah, we got Cole back.
And God's honest truth, after Clark Smith's second Tommy John surgery, he's done as a starter. He will not be on the bump as a starter again.
Who's that?
Clark Schmidt.
Clark Schmidt?
Yep.
It's definitely possible. And it's not like he goes that far anyways as a starter. It's pretty much 5-6 inning outings. I said this right after the trade deadline, and the Yankees had those initial struggles, and obviously, I mean, when we're talking on here, or even just talking to our friends or whatnot, we're going to be critical of the team when they're not playing well. But I was never going to go back on my words. I think what the Yankees did as soon as Juan Soto went to the Mets,
You're muted again.
You muted.
I don't know what keeps happening.
Something with the mic. Something with the mic. Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
I'm just trying to do my computer microphone. I don't know what's going on with the mic. But I think what the Yankees did, or what Brian Cashman did in the offseason and at the deadline, was really good. And then even just the little things like, we all knew DJ LeMahieu wasn't going to be on a playoff roster. We all knew he was going to be gone later on. There wasn't really a point of him sticking around on the team. And I thought the Yankees cut him right when they should have. They didn't wait. Cashman sucked up his pride and was like, all right, we'll eat the money. Same thing with Stroman. And let's be honest, the Yankees just haven't done that in the past. I mean, whether it was Aaron Hicks, Joey Gallo at points, they've just kind of kept
Ellsbury.
on. Yeah. Ellsbury. It gets to a point where, like, what message are you sending to your fans? What's the level of urgency? Pretty much every single move that the Yankees have made at the upper management level, I've agreed with this season. I don't know if I could say that in any past years.
I do agree. This year is a little bit of an outlier year for me too. They made some tough decisions that they weren't willing to make before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's helped the team. They moved on from Stroman and replaced him with Schlittler, like net upgrade, right? They moved on from Cookie Carrasco, who I like. They moved on from DJ LeMahieu, replaced him with Caballero and some of those guys, net upgrade. So they've gotten younger, and Caballero's got 4 or 5 controllable years left. He's got a lot of controllable. Jake Bird, I didn't even mention him. He's got 3 beyond this year. So he set the bullpen up nicely. I do think we're going to probably lose Weaver and Williams this offseason. So I do think this is where they're going to try and get some value out of a trade for somebody in the bullpen. But they made much better decisions this last year than they had the years prior for several years.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel better about what they've done structurally on this team. versus the years after, before this year, and especially after Juan Soto. It seems like they had this guy, they had the second superstar, they didn't keep him, so they had to kind of structurally change how they do things, and not rely on superstars.
So. And it felt like smart moves too. It wasn't just, all right, we lost Juan Soto, so now we're panicking, we're going all out, we're trading all our prospects. Like, even what the Yankees gave up this deadline wasn't that much. Still got the top guys. And not every deadline acquisition is going to work out. Look at Duvall. But that's why you do more of it. So you're not relying on one guy.
Yeah. And they added. Omar Rodriguez Cruz is now in their top 5 prospects. They added
such an underrated move that, in 3 or 4 years, we could be talking a lot about.
Yeah. He was the minor league prospect of the year for the Yankees this year.
Yeah.
So good moves. And internationally, the drafting and then we haven't even mentioned the fact when they do draft, they draft in the bottom of the rounds because they're a good team every year, and they lose 10 spots in rounds because they spend more than most of the teams do. So the trajectory for their draft picks is different than the trajectory for guys like Paul Skeens and guys like Jackson Holloway, the single-digit draft picks, right? So, and nevertheless, they're still doing good work. I mean, Ben Rice drafted, right? They drafted him.
Well,
Austin Wells, they drafted him. Aaron Judge drafted him. So, a lot of the Yankees, they draft. I mean, half of their starting lineup is their draft picks. No, they are, having more success than people think they are, or giving them credit for. And at least to me, I think it's important to recognize that. So I'm hoping that I like the draft that they made this year. They got a lot of short, and they drafted a hell of a lot of shortstops. So, it made me wonder for a while whether Volpe was. They're thinking maybe Volpe's not the guy in our future plans, but we'll see what happens there. Volpe's got to show them something, I guess.
Yeah.
Before he gets expensive. But I feel good about it. I agree with you guys. I feel better about this team this year than I have in the years prior. I feel better about their future.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's one thing I kind of unequivocally say. Like when Soto said that he thought the Mets were better positioned this year and in the future, I disagreed with that. I knew that wasn't true.
You know what? Almost the difference is. Obviously, I still want the Yankees to win the World Series, but almost every year it feels like we're in a position where we're going into the postseason and we're saying, all right, if they don't win it this year, like they got to clean house, they got to revamp the whole thing. And look, don't get me wrong. If the Yankees lose in the first round, the wild card series, the Boston Red Sox, it's going to be an embarrassment. It's terrible. It's tough to recover from, but I think it doesn't change how you're looking at next year. And I think no matter what, you're pretty confident about next year. And to be honest, it helps that Garrett Cole is going to be coming back. But.
Yeah. And I think with the roster that they had and the losses that they've suffered, they overshot their landing already. They were projected to be a third or fourth place team, and they were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's good play.
Tied with the division leader.
Best record in the American League.
Yep.
So without Cole, without Jake Cousins, without Oswaldo Cabrera,
60% of our starting rotation was on the shelf when we started the season.
60%. That's crazy.
Yep.
Absolutely crazy.
People snub their nose at Will Warren. Will Warren leads all rookie pitchers in strikeouts. By all rights, if we didn't have the injuries that we had, he would have been at AAA, learning his craft there. So he was learning on the fly at the major league level.
A year
Incredibly
early.
difficult thing to do.
Yeah, a year early. They deployed him a year early. And he came through. I mean, last year he looked overwhelmed. This year he looked like he had his composure with him. And to me, that's kudos to Will Warren.
Still need to see him in big games, I feel like.
Yeah. And I do think he needs to stop. He has trouble in the first inning sometimes where he gets hit hard and then he settles down after that. But he's already given up 5 runs. and then he'll throw 4 or 5 shutout innings after that. But he's got to work on that first inning and just get through the lineup without getting tattooed. So I do think that's probably one of the things they need to work on. Like guys with like Duvall, they got to work on his release points this offseason. I think Jake Bird, the same thing. He was overused by the Rockies. He came here as fried. So, but he's got a huge arm. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. And some of these other guys. I mean, they're all going to be back next year. Bednar is going to be back. Bird, Duvall, all these guys are going to be back. So go ahead, Ken.
I've got to hop off and tuck some kids into bed.
Yeah, I got to do the same.
I want to ask you a couple of questions. How do you feel about the Giants' win today over the Chargers?
I'm happy about it, but they lost Malik Neighbors to a torn ACL, so I'm sad about it. I'm sad, but I'm glad they beat the Giants.
Dart looked good.
Yes, he did. They finally gave him a start. After that, having won this game despite losing Neighbors, I don't think we're going to see Russell Wilson anytime soon. So I agree.
Did you catch any of my Chiefs against the Ravens today?
Chiefs got the win, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They
Mahomes killed me in fantasy. If it makes you happy.
How about I haven't looked at my Jets?
I've been listening to people talk crap to me about the Chiefs all season long.
Well, my boys get to play Monday Night Football tomorrow, so against the Dolphins.
We'll be on that since there's no baseball.
Yeah, so I'll be watching that, and hopefully they won't go 0-4.
There are actually 2 Monday Night Football games.
Yeah, it's Jets Dolphins, and then there's you got Bengals Broncos. Those are the other 2. So
go Jets.
Let's go Jets. But guys, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you all. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Hope you enjoyed this discussion. It was a fantastic discussion. Again, let's get this Yankees to the round so we can do this discussion again next round. So, Christian, thank you so much. Ken, thank you so much. Ryan, if you're listening, thank you so much as well. Sorry that you had some tech issues, man. But let's go Yankees. Peace and love to everybody in the chat, and we'll catch you all on the other side. Over now, Ken. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you,
sir.
Enjoy your night, guys.